Hello and welcome to the Gig School podcast, talking all things musicians, bookings, agents, venues, events. And we've got the fabulous Sarah from Harmony Sounds, harpist and vocalist, here to talk with us today. So, hello.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming today and your day off. So, yeah, really appreciate your time and loving your yellow dress. It's very beautiful. And you've got some very exciting news.
I do.
Yeah, what happened this morning?
I gave one of my bosses, my teaching job, a little buzz this morning and said I was not going to be teaching anymore. So, yeah, I quit one of my jobs.
Yay!
Yes.
You've quit your teaching job.
Quit my teaching. I love my students. I love the kids. They're adorable. But, yeah, got to think of me now, I think. Working one job and doing music on the side, the other part-time it's a handful. It's enough.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Why have you quit your job? Like, what made you...
I think, like, obviously I always wanted to do more weddings and funerals and gigs. I got to the point where I was able to, got a few bookings lined up, and it's just draining me now working 3 or 4 jobs and then working weekends and gigging, and it's very tiring. So, yeah, I just said something's got to give, and
Wow.
managed to build it up to the point where I can...
Yay! That is so wonderful.
Yeah.
You should be so proud of yourself.
Thanks.
So basically your bookings have surpassed
Yeah,
your teaching job, so you
They're
don't
pretty
need it anymore.
solid. Managed to get a few bookings ahead of time. So I've got pretty much the end of 2023. I've got bookings into 2024. So at least with those, obviously the deposits coming in, and then when those gigs come around, I know that I'm sort of secure enough that I don't have to rely on supplementary income. Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting. Well
Thanks.
done. And you're just doing some admin for 2 days a week.
Yeah. So I'm
So
still at Silver Chain. So I quite like my desk job. It's a good team. I still got quite a good supportive boss. Just gives me a little bit of a break for now that I could sort of don't have to put my creative hat on, my creative shoes.
Yeah.
Just go put my music and do some data entry. So I quite like, it's a nice balance. And then my days off, obviously I have to do admin and marketing for my music business, and then gigging on weekends usually.
Yeah, that's so cool. What a great mix. So now you've just got like 2 days of admin, and then the rest of the time is just harp and singing, and you know
Trying some rest, relaxation, self-care.
What's that?
I know, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, you should be so proud. So
Thanks.
You know what? I think it won't be too long before you have to.
Shh, don't tell my other boss that. Shh. Chris,
joking.
if you're listening, I love you. I love Silver Chain.
You'll
I
be
love
there
my team.
forever. You will never quit.
Tune into Gig School 2.0 next year.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, and you came to our Gig School event last year.
Yeah.
And I met up with you at a venue, Lyrics Underground in Maylands, and you were talking to me. You said, "Can we catch up?" And you asked
I reached
me
out. Yep, you were very generously met up for a cup of coffee. So that was really nice of you. I just wanted kind of getting to the Perth music scene. I just moved over from Melbourne, where I spent a couple of years there. Sort of had never done a wedding before, never done a funeral. It's kind of, how much do I charge? What do I do? Like, how do you, because I obviously saw you're quite well engaged. And then, you gave me a few pointers, and then obviously Gig School rocked up. So came to that.
Yeah, and then you sent a message and said you wanted to come to Gig School, and then you got
The rest is history.
Yay! You got some promotional videos filmed.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I picked up a lot from Gig School, so that was great. Lots of things I use now, like just so many like hints and tips. Obviously, knowing your worth and how to charge and all the marketing and admin. I think most musicians, that's one of the things we kind of struggle a little bit with the marketing and promoting ourselves. We're good on stage and we're good in front of an audience and get to a gig, but it's all the extra bits in between leading up to the gig.
So how did you increase your bookings then? What do you think it was for you that did that?
Well, I think I wasn't really putting myself out. I was just kind of hoping that the connections and networks I had would kind of pay off for themselves. But I think I didn't really have a social media strategy. I wasn't on social media. I was quite shy to post stories and reels and film myself. And I think you were saying that was one of your biggest things. You barely spent anything on marketing, but you're quite proficient on social media. So I sort of, got a bit braver, and I've been doing a few stories and posts, and I think just the posts on social media, reaching out to the agents we met, the musicians we met, the networks. I mean, I've got gigs referred to by other musicians, and yourself, you'll post something on Facebook, and then they'll hit me up for a gig. It was like, what? Yeah, you just like
Aw.
left, right, and center. They can come from anywhere, and I think
Yeah, it's amazing.
and the expos and just learning. Yeah, you really have to kind of hustle and stuff a bit. Yeah, to get your name out there.
Yeah, I've seen you. Like, I feel like every expo I've been at,
Expo buddies,
you've been
expo
there too.
team. Yeah.
You know, you've been at all the wedding expos.
Yeah.
Even like the one out in 2J. I was like, oh, you're there. And the one in the
Yeah.
city.
I mean, I think getting the expo was how I got the Duxton, because I
Wow.
did an expo and they saw my video, and then they've asked me to come and do high tea. So you never
Yeah.
know what will lead to anything. Yeah.
Did you do the expo at the Duxton, or they
That
just?
was a Perth. Yeah, it was a different hotel. Yeah, Perth
Oh.
Wedding Expo Open Day. Yeah.
Wow. And so and now you've got like a residency there.
Yeah. So I've been playing at Duxton for 2 years, so it's great. It's really nice of them to support live musicians as well. I think they've had people come in, do the violin, and then, me and Rachel Fish every other Sunday. So that was worked out really well. I've been there, 2 years now.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. And I think like like you said when you first came over, because how long ago did you come over from Melbourne?
It's been about, 3 or 4 years now.
Wow, 3
Yeah.
or 4 years. Yeah. And you had no gigs and nothing, and now you've built it up to this point. So
Yeah.
you should be really proud of yourself, you
thank
know.
you.
And how did you learn the harp?
So I started just self-taught. I had a couple of lessons. Then I was just kind of picking up things on YouTube, doing a few chords and bits and pieces. But I've actually met my new harp teacher through gig school.
Oh,
So Kira Gunn is giving me lessons.
Kira's
and she's
your
gonna,
teacher now. Aw,
So I thought I'd kind of get my skills up a little bit.
that's so cool.
Get some nice technique, and she's a beautiful player. So I see if I can. She's going to help me put me through my first Amy B exam. Yeah, so I can work
Wow.
up my way in the ranks.
Wow,
And
I did not know that. Oh, that's
Yeah,
a cool
yeah.
collab there. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, but I guess it also goes to show that you kind of still managed to get the gigs even without it. I mean, you should always try to improve yourself.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
But even despite that, you still got a
Yeah.
residency at a prestigious
yeah.
hotel.
I mean, the harp kind of plays itself. It's got a voice of its own. You just need to kind of let it sing. But I did my music degree at WAPA, so I did classical voice.
Yeah.
And I went over to Melbourne, and I was going to try opera singing.
Wow.
Audition for the different young artist programs and companies over there. So I sang with Melbourne Opera for a little bit. But I came back here, and I kind of wanted just a lifestyle that would give me some kind of income to live off, and so not living from audition to audition. And kind of getting a bit of regular income through work, through music.
Yeah, it's so good. And are you from a musical family?
No, I think I'm the only one. Artistic family, maybe. Got a few cousins that are tattoo artists, and everyone kind of draws. Yeah, no one does music.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And what are your goals, in your ideal week? What would it be?
Well, I mean, I still want to push and advance my music career. So I've been getting into a lot of folk music. I'm still using the classical crossover training. So I'd love to sort of work towards getting a single or an EP, just exploring all the beautiful music. With a few weddings and funerals in the midst.
Yeah. Have you found the wedding expos have got you wedding
Yeah,
gigs?
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's been able to meet other vendors, see what's out in the industry, what's going, what's fashionable. But I get a few inquiries. I mean, it sometimes can take 6 to 9 months for their wedding event to come around.
Exactly.
I think it pays off in the long. I mean, it's the long game really, because even the other vendors get to know them, and then they might put you forward later on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the venues, they've used me for other things, dinners and functions that not necessarily a wedding, but just
So
meeting people.
What have you changed? Like, so before you said you didn't really have
Yeah.
much of a social media presence.
Yeah.
So
I didn't have any.
Oh, any?
No,
Okay.
didn't post.
what's changed, like, from where
I
you
think
were
learning,
to now?
learning the different groups. So putting your ads on the groups for the wedding industry groups. But I put stories. I mean, I thought it had to be, top class, perfectly edited, really expensive promotional material, which, it's good to have that too. But I think just the everyday things, people like to see what goes wrong, or what I've had to try and fix on the fly, or, bad hair day or things like that. Just that they can see that you're a real person, or you're relatable.
Humanity, vulnerability, just real.
Yeah. Well, and I've had people that said they've enjoyed following my journey. So, as I've bought a new harp, or I've started learning Irish music or the tin whistle, and they can kind of see, my journey as a performer, as a person as well. So
The evolution.
yeah, they've been a part of the journey, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it takes a lot of vulnerability, I think, to be yourself. And, you know, if you've got bad hair, to show that on your Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how did you get over that hurdle of like, I've got to, you know, be vulnerable now? And
Well, I mean, probably following you.
oh, okay.
I think you said
hilarious.
at gig school, you just post anything, like, if you had an upset stomach that day, or you had a rip in your dress or whatever. But I think like that stuff's really, like, people say they find it funny, and I guess I can show my other personalities. It's not just the prima Madonna classical musician that rocks up with a fancy harp and a black dress and plays nice music, Like, I think my alter ego or my side on the stories is a little bit more funny or comical, or I'm a little bit more silly, and so I get to show that I've got a bit of personality and have a bit of fun as well. Like, it's not
Yes.
just serious, somber, classical music.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. And so basically being yourself and being vulnerable on your stories. And what about for your actual feed itself? What did
I
you
try to
change
put
there?
a bit more of just that's like the more polished content.
Yeah.
So the things that you've invited me along to a few of the shoots that Champagne Agency have done. So they've been really great. And I've worked with Dylan, like, he's a great photographer and videographer now. So he's helped a few of our concerts. He's going to help me with a video shoot. I got to do Cotton Eye Joe for a wedding. She walked down the aisle to Cotton Eye Joe. So it's a really pretty acoustic version.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to, film a fun, I think, out in the orchards in a winery somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a bit more of the polished content, and obviously the reels and that can be a bit more public access, so people can see the good stuff that I produce as well.
Yes. I love it. I do agree. I tend to post the more polished stuff on the feed that stays there.
Yeah.
And then just the real personality stuff in the stories, which disappears after 24 hours anyway. So who even cares?
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's amazing though, that, doing those things and the expos has got you to this point where you've quit.
Well, I think every little bit's helped, and then the people you meet along the way, and the putting yourself out there on social media and expos, and getting to meet venues, and you never know when the next gig's going to come from. I think
Exactly. Yeah. You've worked really hard at it, and you've done everything we told you to do. So
textbook student,
like A+.
graduate. Yeah.
Once you quit a job, you get an A+. That's our goal. Make you quit your jobs.
Graduate of the year.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. You should be very, very proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And what do you see for your future? Like, what are your big future plans and goals? I saw you, you did Melbourne Fringe and...
Yeah, I guess we're working towards a Perth Fringe season. It'd be cool to try. I mean, I'd love to be with, like, Celtic Woman and, doing some cool... Actually, there's a lot of really cool Irish musicians that, they'll play the tin whistle and the harp and some beautiful singing and some drums. I am learning the Boran drum as well.
Oh, wow. Is that the drum that's got, like, the tone in it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd love to, produce a bit more music. But, I mean, eventually I wouldn't mind, having a family and just maybe go to Bali to do a few weddings, get flown over to Ireland. Anyone wants to sponsor me?
Yeah, exactly.
Got St. Patrick's Day coming up.
Yeah. Are you actually Irish? Or
No,
you
so
just...
I'm my mum's Swedish and dad's British. So I do a lot of English folk music as well, but I've just got Irish set at the moment coming up for St. Patrick's Day. And I do perform or play a bit with a few Irish sessional players in Perth, which is quite fun, yeah.
I think another big part of your success is what you do is quite niche. Like, there's not that many people who play the harp and sing and perform around
I think
the
Mum
place.
said to me, like, you really found in it, because I obviously loved music theatre, I loved cabaret and burlesque, and I loved opera.
Ooh, burlesque. Do you do burlesque?
I have done burlesque.
Oh, wow.
I've also played harp and sung while people have taken off their clothes. It's good
wow,
fun. Perth Burlesque International Festival.
I love
Great,
it.
it's great.
Love
I got into the International Burlesque Festival this year, but I had to turn it down because it clashed with the Melbourne Fringe. But next year,
Yeah.
I work on a cool harp act.
Yeah,
Big,
I
big
like
flowy
it.
gown can fall away.
Yeah, it's a very cool niche that you've got going there. And I mean, what made you decide to learn the harp? Like, did you think, oh, it'll be hard? How did you know?
I kind of fell into it. It kind of just happened. Yeah. So mum was saying, you really found your niche this year. And I said, niche kind of found me.
Yeah.
There's so many things I wanted to do, but I was learning violin and I bought a cheap violin from Cash Converters, about $80 or something. So the violin teacher said, you know, it's either homemade or it's factory made. Go to the store and buy a real violin. And then I went and they had little harps and big harps. I said, oh, I'll get a little harp as well. It looks cute.
Oh,
and the lady
wow.
said, you know, you can drink some wine and just strum some harp on the couch while you're watching TV. I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty fun. I said, I'll learn the small one, and then, like, once I've learnt that, I can buy myself a big one. And I think COVID hit, and I said, stuff it, go buy a big one.
Oh,
So they had a
wow.
payment plan, so I just rocked up, put a big harp in the boot of my car and
Wow.
drove off.
That's so interesting, isn't it? How like sometimes the bad things in life, like
Yeah,
COVID,
yeah.
end up being like amazing opportunities. Because I guess if it wasn't for COVID,
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't have done
Maybe
that.
you wouldn't be here.
Because
Yeah,
you wouldn't
sitting
have
here
had the
today.
time.
Be teaching
So-
full time.
Yes.
I love teaching, but, you know, it does come at a drain, I think.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
not as fun as performing.
You could do what you want to do, what you love. Yeah.
I mean, I guess teaching the harp is, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's not going to be as fun as like actually performing it. And the pay of performing is going to be
Well, that
always
was the
be
thing,
better.
you know, I could get, you know, $30, $40 an hour teaching at the school I was at, get a bit more money doing private, or, you know, get $250, $500 a pop for doing a funeral or wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have you done many funerals?
Yeah, I've done a couple, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you getting those gigs? Are they coming to
It was
you?
actually,
or-
yeah, it was actually a friend of a friend, so auntie of a friend, her partner died, yeah, so they asked me, my friend asked me if I can come play for her auntie's friend's funeral. Yeah, so I guess just people know me in the grapevine, putting yourself out on the Facebook and all that. Yeah, I mean, they've actually been, I wasn't sure how I'd go. Like, I thought with the singing I might, like, choke up or it'd be quite hard or quite sad occasions, but they've actually been quite lovely, like, quite beautiful. And then the family have come up to me and said, oh, you know, that was beautiful. Thanks so much for coming. Thanks for being a
Yeah.
part. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well, you know, it's
Yeah.
like such a special and
Yeah.
memorable day.
Yeah, yeah.
Celebrating someone's life. It's an honour. I love
Well,
singing
even, like, a lot
funerals.
of the music they've chosen has been quite uplifting or quite, yeah, and it's been, like, a really nice sort of celebration of life, I guess, more so than
I think
fighting
also,
back tears. Yeah.
talking about niches,
Yeah.
your Irish sort of
Yeah.
niche that you've got
Yeah,
going there.
I do like folk music,
That's
yeah.
even more like
Yeah.
specific within your niche you've already got. Like just being a harpist that
Yeah.
sings,
Yeah.
but plus that on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you like the Cause?
Love the Cause. Love me some Cause. Some Celtic Woman. No, I think the harp was the national instrument of Ireland, and I think
Wow.
like
I didn't know that.
it's a beautiful music tradition of harp and singing. Back in the day, they used to just hang out in family, and everyone sort of played the harp, and everyone played the fiddle, and just kind of jammed. You didn't watch TV; you just knew all the tunes and all the music. So that's nice. But I mean, I know a lot of sort of Swedish medieval folk music too, which is really lovely, beautiful to sing. Yeah, and I think the harp's quite an ancient instrument as well. Like goes back sort of really ancient times of. They had it in ancient Egypt.
Wow.
Yeah, even in like African tribes, they found the harp replicas. Yeah.
What would you say to someone who wants to learn the harp now?
Do
Like-
it.
Okay.
Do it.
But like how? What do they buy that little one that you bought?
Yeah.
Would you-
I mean, if you can
You
read
selling it?
music, no, I have 5 harps and I'm holding on to them. No, so I suppose with the little one, it got a bit frustrating to the point where if you read music or you're familiar with music, you couldn't do too many keys, but also didn't have the lower octaves and the higher octaves, so I keep having to like transpose. So if you really want to do lots with music and lots of chords or jazz and all that, probably better off buying a decent. I think the one I've got. Oh, here we go. Here's one I brought earlier. This one I
Yes.
did earlier.
Oh, hello. Look at this.
This one,
Wow,
this
look at
one's
the
sort of-
sparkles on it. Did you
yeah,
put those on
I did
there?
bejazzle it. I did bling it up a
Oh, I
little.
love the sparkles on the harp. Yeah.
So this is sort of set up like a proper harp.
Hmm.
So it's not sort of a cheap one. So you could do sort of all keys, and it's got like quite a good number of
How
strings.
much is a harp like that?
So this one was $2,500.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I mean, you don't need that many levers.
what do
and
the
then-
levers even do?
So it just changes the key. So you can preset the key. So you can put it in D major or C or
Oh
F,
my God.
and it's good to go.
I could get that and put
Yeah.
it in C, which is why I play
Yes.
everything in anyway.
Yeah. And then you get to go. Well, yeah,
Oh,
if you need
that's
to change it to
incredible.
G.
I might hit you
Yeah,
up, you know. I have
absolutely.
actually always wanted to learn the harp, but just never got around to it. But you've inspired me.
Yay! I should have bought my little one. You could have played.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah, no, it's
yeah, it's beautiful. I think like just sort of reflecting on what you said, your fast success has been, well, really, I think key is the niche. Like what's out there, what and people, what's nobody doing?
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
that, like, because if you approach a venue and you say like, oh, I sing and play guitar, they'll be like, oh yeah, for an expo. But if you say, oh,
Yeah.
I'm a harpist and I
Yeah.
sing, they'll be like, oh wow, that's different. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So I think that just, puts you.
I guess, yeah, it's like what you're good at, what your sound is, yeah, what your personality. I mean, we're not going to be the pub rock and roll Rockefeller, so.
I think as well your vulnerability on your stories, showing who you are, and posting your polished content.
And it keeps you
well.
fresh. You're on their mind. You kind of you're in their algorithms.
Yeah. So
Gig school, whatever.
So super. How to quit your job. Super proud of you.
Come to gig school.
Yeah. Thanks, Pat. So are you gonna play us a song to wrap it up?
I can play you a song.
Yeah.
Here we go. First take. In Dublin's fair city, where girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone. She wheeled her wheelbarrow, streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, singing cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and sure 'twas no wonder, for so were her father and mother before, and they both wheeled their barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and no one could save her, for that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. But her ghost made a barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Could you hear that okay?
Oh my
Yeah,
God, my
we
boobs
can
are
hear it
hanging
okay.
out. Why is
Oh.
my boobs were hanging out?
Were they?
Can you cut that bit
Sorry.
at the end?
He knew they were hanging out. He just didn't want to tell you.
This can be the story part. the thing's gone wrong.
Whoopsies.
My
How much
pin
boob
broke.
was hanging out?
I think it was some bra.
Oh,
Some
that's
bra.
okay. It's just a bit of
Bra?
bra. There's a bit of
My
burlesque.
burlesque side. Oh dear.
It's a bit of a taste of her next year's Fringe show.
Come to Perth International Burlesque
The
Festival.
more the song goes on, the more clothes come off.
I like that. A new nickname, yeah. I went and saw a burlesque just go on Oracle, and they asked me what my company's name or stage name was. So I said, yeah, so I'm Harmony Sounds. Everyone kept calling me Harmony for the rest of the day. They're
Oh,
like,
wow.
hi, Harmony. Yeah, this is Harmony. I was like,
Oh, wow, that's your burlesque
I
name.
have a burlesque name now, Harmony Sounds.
I love it. Oh, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your time today and for the beautiful song. It sounded beautiful. It's just mesmerizing. You just sort of like,
Aw.
it's so beautiful, peaceful. Oh,
It's all the heart.
stop it. It's just, but it's you and all your action that you've taken, and you've put so much time and effort into it, and you should be so proud. I hope you're going to do something amazing to celebrate. I hope you go buy a new harp today
Aw.
to celebrate now.
I did buy a new harp last week.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, thanks,
thank you
Ers. Yeah.
so much.